Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Akoya. If you're new here, I make lifestyle, motherhood, and homemaking content here on YouTube. If you like that kind of thing, make sure you subscribe. But let's get right into this video. Today I'm talking all about planning to host a holiday meal or event.
It's not holiday, Mom.
Right, we already hosted Thanksgiving, and so I'm going to give you a bit of a recap from that to hopefully help you prepare for your Christmas or New Year's events that you have going on. Now, I use this same concept every time I'm hosting any kind of gathering. Now, a lot of times when we're hosting, we're either going somewhere or we have family coming to us because we've lived out of town for the past about 5 years. This is the first time where my family's actually lived in the same state that I have, and we've all been within about an hour. So I was in charge of kind of preparing the meal. We didn't actually have the event at my home, which was nice because I didn't have to do a lot of the cleaning and like plates and forks and that type of preparation, but it was a little bit different because we did it at my mom's home, which normally is fully stocked with all the kitchen things, but they had just moved in. So we were bringing everything, like our dishes pre-made, along with anything we needed to make the dishes that weren't already prepared. First, what event is this? Is this your Thanksgiving? So the first thing you're going to want to do is brainstorm. This is a really fun time where you can think of what you're envisioning for your event, whether it's how you want your table to look, the food you want to serve, the atmosphere of your home, games, a theme for your event. Any of that is going to be in your brainstorming, and this could be 1 month, a couple weeks, a couple months in advance of your actual event. I like to sometimes make a Pinterest board for my event. So this year I did 2023 Thanksgiving. But you would obviously change this to whatever event you're hosting. So I create that board on Pinterest. Then as I'm perusing whenever, if I see a beautiful table that I love or an activity I think would be really fun for the kids at the event, or maybe it's like a meal or a side dish that I think would be fun to try, I will put it in this brainstorm category. That way, when I get to the actual planning, I can see, okay, this is all ideas I have and what do I actually want to do. The next thing you're going to want to do, and this is pretty far in advance of your event. Now, if it's a holiday like Thanksgiving, you already know what weekend it's going to be, and you really just need to decide, are we going to get together on Thursday or Friday? Are we going to have lunch or supper? Are we going to spend the night somewhere? Those types of things. But you might have to do even more of picking the weekend or whatever. You know, for Christmas, I know people who have Christmas the first week of December. I know people who are celebrating Christmas on New Year's. You know, it's not always the specific time. So you'll want to set your date and then also the time of the event. Are you hosting a brunch, a lunch, an afternoon, a supper, and then how long do your events normally go? Because if you're hosting a lunch, but people normally stay till 10 p.m., you want to make sure that you have enough food and activities and drinks for people if they're going to be at your home that long, or you'll be at someone else's home that long. So that's what you're going to want to think about, along with your guest list and how much food you'll need, so you can get an idea of how much food you'll need to prepare and who all might be willing to bring something. Because when you host, you do not need to provide every single item for the event. You could have someone else bring games and activities. Someone could bring all of the plates and be in charge of setting your tables. Someone could be in charge of beverages. Each family could bring their own beverages to share or just for themselves. You know, and you'll know your family's traditions and you can create your own as the host also and try new things until you find something that works really well. So once you get your whole guest list, your date, your time, you're gonna invite everyone, and then you're gonna let them know, hey, I'd really love if some people could bring, you know, side dishes or whatever. If you could start thinking about that, that would be great. I'll contact you when it's a little closer to see what you'd like to bring and let you know what I've decided to make. Now it's your job. You need to come up with a good menu. I love to cook, so I normally offer to make a good majority of the food, or my mom will. She also loves to cook, but this year she was needing just more time because of their move. So I ended up with a bulk majority of cooking, although my siblings did end up helping. So when we create our menu, I use Pinterest. I think about family traditions, and I have all of my past Thanksgiving meals written down in my cookbook. I kind of keep a list, and in the front there's like Thanksgiving 2023, and it'll just be a list of each food item I brought. And then when we get done, I can write if I doubled the batch and we had extra, or there was not enough of it, so I know for the next year, or it was a bad recipe and don't make that again, you know, and I just keep notes. So as a host, if you're going to be having a lot of holiday meals, keeping good notes like that, even if it's just a paper copy in a notebook, a note on your phone, a Pinterest board with the 5 foods you brought, and that maybe you did a craft because you have young kids or something, you can keep that to look back on and remember, oh yeah, we loved that. Let's carry that over to this year, and I want to try something different here, and make those changes. Once you've come up with your menu and you think about what you really want to do, I try to let everyone know what the main things I'm making is. So we chose that my husband would be in charge of a turkey, which you could definitely buy pre-made. That is a big commitment, but he was going to be in charge of the turkey. I was going to make some of my traditional appetizers, so deviled eggs, crab dip, and eggnog is our family's tradition. As I've started my own family, it's become a tradition for all of our holidays, like Thanksgiving and Christmas. And because our family has lived farther away, sometimes they will only come for one. So we'll see them either at Thanksgiving or at Christmas. So for us, our meal is very universal. Then I contact everyone who's coming and say, hi, this is what I'm making. Turkey, deviled eggs, this. Our main Thanksgiving dinner, our main holiday dinner, was going to be supper between 5 and 6 was kind of our approximation, depending on when our turkey finished. It's important to have a time, especially when doing something like a turkey or ham, because that will help you know when to put it in the oven, and you can get everyone on board with that. Timing, oven space, and the events of the day, and how long you need to be there, how early you need to show up at the event place. Obviously, if you're hosting it, it's a little easier, but if you're bringing it to a place and someone else is hosting the people, not necessarily the meal, that would affect when you start. I just used iPhone notes and wrote down kind of the main meals. So Friday or Thursday and Friday, Thursday apps, this, parentheses, who's making it, as a checklist, sent it in a text to everyone and said, please update what you're bringing. I gave everyone a couple of days. You don't want to be hounding people, but you also do need to make sure you get the information early enough so you're not crammed, because the couple days before an event like that, especially if you are cooking the majority of the meal, you have a lot on your plate, and or end up with only the food that you brought and you thought other people were bringing things. All right. After you've kind of collected everyone's things, you can look to see if you need to fill in the gaps with any food items, whether it be just ordering a veggie tray, requesting someone bring something specific. A lot of people won't have a care what they bring, and they would just rather be told, so they'll wait till everyone fills in what they really want, and they'll say, I'll bring anything, just let me know. that would be when you let them know what needs provided outside of what you're preparing and other people have volunteered to bring. So you're organized, you're ready. I'd say we're about a week out from the event now. You need to make a plan for your grocery shopping and grocery orders. I try to go grocery shopping 3 to 5 days early, especially for any pantry staples. I might even be buying those 2 to 3 weeks early if I know I'm making something and I have a box in my pantry set aside for that, because as you know, with big holidays, the grocery stores will sell out of things, and you'd hate for your family's traditional meal to not be able to be made because you didn't get to the store in time. So I kind of plan that out, and then I know when I need to get my recipes ready by. I can check my inventory of my cupboards and make sure I have everything, and I start setting it aside so I don't accidentally use it, making food for the week. Then I like to also, about a week out, clean my house really well and empty the fridge. You are going to want an empty, clean fridge, because as you buy this amount of food, you're going to need space to store it. And you don't want to be cooking everything the day of, so you're going to have to do this in advance. I like to do like a grocery order 5 days early for pantry items and anything I can put in my freezer. Then maybe 3 days early, go in and get anything that they weren't able to fulfill in my order, pick up the stuff I need, and make a big like cooking day out of that. Okay, then we get our groceries, our fridge is pretty full, and you're strategizing, but you can do this. You are ready. You've got a clean home, clean fridge, you've got your recipes printed, you know what everyone's bringing, you know when the event is, you've got your plan, and now we're just on the executing. And this is fun. Like, we're gonna have great food, and this is fun. So I like to make a little bit of a cooking schedule, plan out, you know, I'm gonna make my I'm gonna hard boil my eggs this day, the next day I'm gonna make the filling, and do my pumpkin pies, because those need to be refrigerated. And then the following day, I'm gonna make my crab dip, and it can sit overnight. Throw my veggies in a tray and make them look pretty. And I'm going to make my cranberry sauce. And then that night, Avery's gonna do the turkey, and the following day is our event, you know. And it's written down. I leave time in my schedule in case I have forgotten an ingredient or something, and not so many items to where I'm cooking the whole entire day and exhausted, right? You're pretty much done with scheduling. When it comes to like the day before your event, I like to have everything laid out. Everyone's outfits before I go to bed laid out. So for the day of, you're gonna work backwards. So if your turkey needs to be done at 5 and it has 5 hours of cooking and a 1 hour rest, you're gonna need to start that at 11 a.m., which means you need to be at whatever location you're serving that turkey at 11 a.m. So from there, you need to figure your drive time, or if it's at your home, no big deal. But for us, we had an hour drive, so that meant we had to leave our house by 10 a.m. and put the turkey in as soon as we got to our place. Leaving at 10 a.m., I knew I needed at least 1 hour to look my best, and not in a rushed way. You know, you might be able to get ready in 30 minutes, but do you really want to have to get ready in 30 minutes and be sweating before you walk out the door? On the day of an event, when I'm going to be around a lot of people, I don't. So I give myself a little extra time and a little leeway. So that means by 9, I have to be getting ready, so to speak. And then we're going to have to pack all the food in our vehicles and probably tidy up from breakfast. So that's 8, and some breakfast, 7:30. Okay, so 7:30 is when I'm gonna start my morning. I'm gonna get the kids' breakfast going. We're gonna tidy that up. I'm gonna get looking nice while they play. Then I will get them dressed, probably, honestly, right before we leave out the door, or have my husband do that while I'm packing up the food. We'll get and then I get to have that hour drive as my chill time. You figure out what works for you and just work backwards from the time that your meal is, and you'll be set to go.
Hi.
That's how we planned our holiday meal. And you guys, if you have a good plan and mentally you're just excited about this, this can be a lot of fun and very low stress. Now, for this time, I did take almost a week of preparation, but I was not spending 5 days straight working on this. I was spending 1 or 2 hours every day working on cooking some things, going to the grocery store, cleaning a bathroom, you know, just general things, working around having 2 little kids. So it's not overwhelming if you have a plan, and it can be a lot of fun. All right, you guys, so I hope that helps you get an idea of how to prepare for family gathering and hosting a holiday meal. Remember that it's more about the people and the time spent together than it is about the food, the decorations, the cleanliness of your home. As long as you keep that in the forefront of your mind, nothing can be catastrophic. This is going to be lots of fun and a great time to celebrate and enjoy and love on all those special people in your life. So thanks for joining me. I hope this was helpful, and if you liked it, give it a big thumbs up. We'd love to see you in our next videos, so subscribe and hit the bell below. I have a lot of holiday content coming up for the rest of the week as we homemake together. Have a blessed day, you guys. Bye-bye.